Most plants don't die from thirst or lack of sunlight. They stop growing because they're being fed the wrong way. There is a silent, very common mistake that happens inside the pot, out of sight, directly at the roots. The plant stays green for a while, sometimes even looks fine, but something gets stuck. The leaves don't get bigger, new shoots don't appear, and everything looks stalled. This isn't bad luck or a weak plant. It's fertilizer applied incorrectly, too much, too little, or at the wrong time. Understanding this completely changes how you care for your plants and helps you avoid frustration. Today, you'll realize that fertilizing isn't just about adding nutrients, but about creating a healthy environment for roots to function properly. Throughout this video, I'll show you very common houseplants and explain how small adjustments in fertilizing can unlock their growth. If this kind of practical care helps you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment where you're watching from. Stay until the end because the last plant is usually the most affected by this mistake and almost no one notices. Mach 1. Snake plant, Sansevieria. The snake plant is known for its extreme resistance and its ability to help purify the air, which makes many people believe it doesn't need fertilizing at all. The interesting part is that this plant naturally grows very slowly, and when it receives too much fertilizer, its roots can burn silently, without immediate signs on the leaves. It prefers little water, well-draining soil, and adapts well to both indirect light and low-intensity sun. One of its biggest benefits is exactly its durability and ease of care, making it ideal for apartments, indoor spaces, and beginners. The most common mistake is fertilizing too much in an attempt to speed up growth, when the ideal approach is light, spaced out, and well-balanced fertilization. But 2. ZZ plant, Zamioculca. The ZZ plant often misleads people with its always beautiful appearance and firm, glossy leaves that give a constant impression of health. However, it is extremely sensitive to excess nutrients in the soil. An important curiosity is that it stores energy in rhizomes, underground structures that act as reserves. When the soil becomes overloaded with salts from excessive fertilization, these rhizomes go into stress, and growth simply stops. The ZZ plant prefers little water, long intervals between watering, indirect light, and loose, well-draining soil. It's an excellent option for indoor environments, offices, and low-maintenance spaces. In this case, less really is more. Light fertilization applied only a few times a year is enough to keep the plant active, beautiful, and with healthy roots. The 3. Peace lily, Spathiphyllum. The peace lily is a plant that quickly shows when something isn't right in its environment or soil. Its leaves wilt easily, but this doesn't always mean lack of water, as many people assume. In most cases, the problem is excess fertilizer accumulated in the soil, which damages the roots and prevents proper nutrient absorption. It prefers soil that stays slightly moist, without waterlogging, diffused light, and a stable environment away from drafts and sudden temperature changes. An interesting curiosity is that the peace lily reacts very quickly to soil conditions, working almost like a true indicator of the care it receives. Besides its elegant look, it helps improve air quality and brings a sense of calm and balance. It's ideal for those who spend a lot of time at home, as long as fertilization is balanced, moderate, and free from excess. 4. Pothos, devil's ivy. Pothos is known for its easy growth and great adaptability, but it can still become stagnant when fertilizer is applied without care. A common mistake is using large amounts of fertilizer, believing it will accelerate development, when in reality, the plant responds much better to small doses applied regularly. Its roots are sensitive to salt buildup in the soil, which can halt growth without showing immediate signs on the leaves. It prefers indirect light, moderate watering, and well-aerated soil that allows good oxygen flow to the root system. An interesting curiosity is that pothos can also be grown directly in water, maintaining healthy, attractive leaves when nutrients are provided in a balanced way. It's perfect for shelves, hanging pots, and small spaces, especially apartments. When the roots can breathe properly and fertilization is balanced, growth happens naturally, continuously, and vigorously, without complex care. 5. Spider plant, Chlorophytum. The spider plant is one of the species that suffers the most when fertilization is done incorrectly, even though it's considered very hardy. It grows fast, produces many offshoots, and often gives the impression that it tolerates any kind of care, but it reacts very poorly to fertilizer buildup in the soil. When this happens, the tips of the leaves start to burn and darken, Even if watering is correct and the environment seems ideal, this reaction is a clear sign of root stress. The spider plant prefers indirect light, and well-draining soil, and frequent watering without waterlogging. One of its biggest advantages is how easy it is to propagate, as new plants form naturally and root easily. Its light, delicate look works well in living rooms, kitchens, and protected balconies. It's an ideal plant for beginners, as long as fertilization intervals are respected and care remains balanced, simple, and consistent. 6. Young Monstera. A young Monstera grown in pots depends directly on root health to develop in a balanced and continuous way. A very common mistake is fertilizing it as if it were already mature, which overloads the soil, causes salt accumulation, and ends up harming growth over time. It prefers soil rich in organic matter, but always well-draining, allowing the roots to breathe properly. It likes bright, indirect light, well-lit environments, and controlled watering, avoiding prolonged waterlogging that compromises the root system. An interesting curiosity is that excess nutrients can delay the appearance of split leaves, a key characteristic of mature plants. That's why fertilization should be gradual, respecting each stage of development. It's an excellent choice for those looking for a plant with strong visual impact indoors, as long as care matches its age, space, and natural growth rhythm. 7. Syngonium. Syngonium is a versatile plant, highly valued for the delicate shape of its leaves, which change noticeably depending on the nutrition it receives over time. When fertilizer is applied in excess, the leaves become smaller, paler, and sometimes slightly deformed, a clear sign of root stress and soil imbalance. It prefers soil that stays slightly moist, without waterlogging, indirect light, and indoor environments protected from strong sun. Fertilization should be gentle, well diluted, and applied at regular intervals, always prioritizing balance over quantity. A big advantage of Syngonium is that it can be grown both in soil and directly in water, adapting well to both methods. It's ideal for apartments, small spaces, and anyone looking for an easy care plant, as long as attention is consistent, careful, and gentle. 8. Parlor Palm, Chamaedorea. The parlor palm is an elegant plant, highly valued for indoor spaces, but its roots are delicate and react poorly to strong or highly concentrated fertilizers. When fertilizer is applied in excess, growth visibly slows down and the leaf tips begin to yellow, a classic sign of root stress. It prefers fertilizer that is always well diluted, applied sparingly and at longer intervals, respecting the plant's natural rhythm. The soil should stay slightly moist, without waterlogging, allowing the roots to breathe properly. It likes filtered light or partial shade, making it perfect for living rooms and bedrooms that are bright but protected from direct sun. An interesting curiosity is that Chamaedorea helps increase air humidity, making the environment more comfortable, especially in closed spaces. It's an excellent choice for those looking for a decorative, discreet, and harmonious plant, as long as care remains gentle, consistent, and free of excess. If your plants have stopped growing, the problem is almost never a lack of fertilizer. In most cases, what harms development is excess, improper frequency, or soil that has become saturated and lost its ability to breathe. Throughout this video, it became clear that healthy roots are far more important than any expensive fertilizer or miracle formula. When the soil is balanced, well-drained, and oxygenated, the plant absorbs nutrients at the right pace and responds with more beautiful leaves and steady growth. Before adding more fertilizer, observing the condition of the soil and the plant's behavior makes all the difference. Now I want to know from you, which of these plants do you have at home, and which one do you think might be suffering from this mistake? Leave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Share this video with someone who loves plants and is always trying to make them grow. In the next video, I'll show you which plants can bloom all year long, even in small pots and with very little maintenance, and why they're perfect for modern routines.